Hi, this is Brittany Drozd, and welcome to another opportunity to be your best self. So, today I wanted to switch things up a little bit and focus on another aspect of the work that I do that I don't talk about much in my videos, which is the business side of things. I have a lot of people that have been coming in, and we've been doing much more business work. Now, maybe that's the change of the focus in the new year. People are looking at their goals, looking at what they want to create in their life, and that tends to come through more in their professional side. So, I actually have a question from a listener this week. And he writes, "For whatever the reason, I may wake up during the night, restless, have to go to the bathroom, thirsty, and as soon as I'm aware that I'm awake, I start thinking about work and struggle to get back to sleep for what seems to be an extended period of time. I'm assuming this is because I'm not as organized or have the systems in place that I need to be under less pressure 24/7. And I'm sure I'm not alone. What do you think?" So, I definitely don't think the reason is necessarily your organizations or the systems you have in place. There are plenty of people who aren't organized and who don't have systems but don't feel that kind of pressure. Now, it's certain that being an entrepreneur, owning your business, or having a career that has a lot of pressure is inherent with having stress, right? And feeling some of that pressure. There's a lot of responsibility involved, right? But it does not need to be something that's keeping you up in the middle of the night. In fact, I'd argue that that's actually impairing your functioning and impairing your ability to be effective and efficient at that very job, right? So that's problematic. We want to make that different, just like you said in your question. So, some suggestions that I have for you. Leave work on the table. This is something that is so hard for so many of us to do. But one thing is certain is that there's always going to be more work. You have to decide where you draw that line and how you take care of yourself personally, right? Outside of the work environment. So that means at some point you need to be comfortable leaving work on the table. So practice it. I used to be super OCD like about my desk, and if you come in my office, you see usually my desk is very organized. I had to practice literally leaving work on my desk and getting comfortable with that to realize I could walk away from something without being finished. Okay, bookending your day. I actually heard that phrase from one of my clients, so thank you. Bookending is a great way to name this practice, and that is starting your workday and ending your workday with the same activity. Now, some people like to do that by looking at their schedule, looking at what appointments they have on the book, who they're going to speak to. Some people like to look at their to-do list, and at the end of the day, you could organize to-do list items for the following day. Some people like to start their day and end their day with email. That's not my favorite because it can be so distracting and take you away from the things that actually need to be done instead of communications that need to be completed. So, try to bookend your workday. And once you close off the workday with that bookend, walk away because that's indicative of the end of your day. Okay, so put that practice into place. Lastly, this is kind of to manage the symptom of you waking up. Put a notepad or a journal next to your bed. Because if you do get up regularly in the middle of the night, maybe your brain start working, your thoughts might start flowing, and something will come to you, something that you need to do. Okay? So just make note of it. That's all. Just make note of it, write it down so that you remember, so that you can let it go. The practice is in letting it free from your mind, letting your mind become free of the task orientation and the worrying, in a sense, right? So, why do we hold on? Why do we hold on to these things? It's so hard for us to let go of the pressure, the stress. And I'd argue that it's out of fear, right? Fear of not having enough money, fear of our customers not being satisfied, and fear of maybe not being productive enough if we don't have all of our tasks, organized. So look at that. That was a list of negative things, a list of really coming from a place of scarcity and not abundance. Imagine if part of your bookending practice was to look at how much money you had made in the past year, or look at how far you'd come from the first year you were in business. My guess is if you're still in business, you've been growing, right? So it might be really helpful to remind yourself of where you've come from. If you could create a practice where you brought more abundance into your awareness, you will have to let go of that sense of scarcity because you'll realize it's not real. It's a perception in your head. So bring a reality checker into place, which will show you all the abundance that your business has brought to you. And it'll allow you to let go of some of those fear or scarcity driven mental tricks that take you out of being the most effective and present entrepreneur that you can be, right? Okay, so thanks so much for your question. I hope we gave you some tips that you can put into place soon. And I encourage all of you to send in your questions because I want this to be the most relevant video blog for you. So thanks so much for watching. Remember to keep working because you deserve to be your best self and live a life that you truly love. Thanks for watching and see you next week.